Welcome to the Pump Rules Podcast, the show where cast and connoisseurs come to talk all things Vanderpump Rules.
It's funny, I just closed the balcony door so as to not have the outside noise going on, but I noticed that on the episode with Billy and your podcast, you taped it outdoors, yeah?
Yeah. Are we recording right now?
Yeah, I just figured we'd jump right
That's what's up. Yeah, I filmed that outside. You know, I like a little background noise sometimes.
Yeah, a nice ambient.
I do. Like,
vibe.
my favorite podcasts that I've done are the ones that are at restaurants or bars or something like that.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like it really feels like it's like voyeuristic, like you're really listening in on someone's private conversation.
No, that's true.
That's what I want my podcast to. I'm not as profesh as you. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you. That's a very sweet thing to say.
So I like it to just feel like people are like hanging out with me.
Right. But you know, your show does sound really good though.
Thanks.
Yeah, there's a difference too between a nice little bit of atmosphere or ambiance as opposed to shows that are taped like with the mic that comes on board your computer. So you have a nice balance between that.
All right. Well, obviously, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. A mic that comes with your computer? Why didn't my mic get?
No, there's actually one in the computer.
Oh, so you can actually record a podcast on just a computer?
Yeah, you could if you needed to. Like if you were stuck and you had no other resources. You just did a show with Taylor Strecker, right?
Yeah.
And what was the story behind that? Because you left the podcast behind.
That was the worst.
The show was good though.
No, but I missed the Nicole Miller fashion show, and I had a great outfit planned for that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I upload my podcast on Thursday to my company, and then I go to New York that night, and then that morning they text me and they're like, you sent us one of your old podcasts. And I'm like, oh my God. And my blood ran cold. Like my blood legit ran cold. I'm like, what am I going to do?
Right.
I didn't bring any podcast equipment with me. I have plans, like a schedule for the whole day.
Oh yeah.
I have a fashion show to go to.
Sure.
Yeah. I had to cancel all that. I had to cancel that.
Did you wear the outfit to
work
the
comes
taping?
First. No.
Well,
comfort.
you know.
Comfort while I'm doing the podcast.
Yeah. Well, you're in a nice outfit today. So, and this is
not front row. No. This is not Fashion Week front row worthy.
I mean, I'm not that outfit blind. I know that like there's different outfits, but this is a nice ensemble.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's kind of like a gray sweatsuit material.
Yes, but it's like it's a dress.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I like to like wear like a little coat with it so that the hoodie like sticks out.
Oh yeah. That's a good look. A good LA winter look.
You know, it makes me look like a little more hardcore. I'm trying
we
to
all
like
need that
up.
sometimes.
I'm upping my like hardcore percentage.
Quotient.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm a little too stick up your ass.
And you're trying to just lessen that stick.
Yeah.
To
lessen
a small
the stick.
like a toothpick size stick.
Well,
or
I
less.
don't know that I'll get there.
That's too ambitious.
Maybe a twig.
A twig. Okay.
You know,
okay. Well,
right now it's like a big stick.
This is like
I've actually never taken it up the ass though, folks. So I said that on Vanderpump Rules, though. I admitted that.
Yeah, fully. That's like you're
maybe I'll take it up the ass.
Like I said, you're very
I don't
free talking about your sex life in all of the outlets that you are on, and that's a really good thing.
Well,
also,
I'm free about. I'm really open about talking about anything.
That's true, and also you did that great thing for psoriasis. What's it called? I didn't want to say.
Wait, I'm kind of like mind blown that people are like, God, you're so brave. Like when I showed my breast reduction scars and then like my psoriasis, like without makeup, I'm like, it's not that brave. Like I feel,
not everyone would do it.
I feel weird taking that compliment or that.
Sure, I know what you mean.
Because I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. We all have our shit and our, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so.
Well, how about this? It's helpful to people. It's a good thing to. Everyone has stuff. The more that people bring their stuff to the public, it helps so many other people. So even if brave, and which I didn't say, by the way, I did not say brave.
Well,
I think it's really cool.
I said because people were
do
telling
say
me that.
Right.
Yeah. But I guess, I mean, that makes me, you're right. If I were to see somebody that I, you know, let's say Kate Hudson came out and did a whole makeup free thing with, and the fact that she had psoriasis or like had like scars on her body or something, that would comfort me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I understand that, I guess.
Yes. Or so she suffers from a weakness for white wine or something like that.
I mean,
something really.
Don't we all?
Isn't that true, kids? Back to your gravitating towards the more hardcore, less stick up the ass image, or not an image really, but like sort of worldview. personal worldview. You have a fabulous new boyfriend who seems to mesh really well with you, unlike as we've seen on the show with Patrick.
Right? Dude, this has been eye-opening.
I can imagine.
Can I just say, like, because I've had people write me being like, I can't believe Stassi would put up with like somebody saying she could go have sex with somebody else. I'm like, no one told me that. Like, he didn't say that to my face.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have been having lots of fun.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been so angst-ridden, I think, during that entire. Yeah,
exactly.
Hey, fuck off, go to Amsterdam, have a party, pal. I'll see you.
No one. Yeah, he didn't tell me that to my face. So I was very unaware of a lot of things until I saw it on TV.
That's even shittier. Then.
It is shittier.
It's much shittier.
Because
he's also going around to friends and your mom. Not that he said that exactly to your mom.
No, but he's in it. He kind of. I think
he essentially did.
He essentially did.
Yeah.
I think I was in like when you're in a relationship for so long.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, you want it to work so badly.
Sure, yeah.
And we'd fought from the beginning, but like it was just, I listened to his radio show and I like had fallen in love with his personality and like what I had heard. And he is a wonderful person. I don't want to shit on him. I hate that like everybody hates him right now. I really do feel badly about that. But he is a good person. But
sometimes people can be great. As we see with Jax, he can be a great guy, but then in his relationship, it's a different sort of thing. But if you know people in one stream of life, you don't know them in others.
But maybe that's just him and I together.
No, it's exactly.
Maybe with somebody else, he would be the best boyfriend.
Gotcha.
And I think that's a thing, especially learning, being in a new relationship now.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I think it's the way people are together,
the chemistry, because
I'm sure that I was a fucking giant asshole. I know I was a lot of the time, and I'm sure my new boyfriend was an asshole to his girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, I'm sure. But I think that together you just gotta mesh well.
That's exactly what it is. And everyone's been that jerk to someone. That's the thing, because there aren't just like a pool of jerks.
Yeah.
I managed to get a pool of jerks. Yeah, right. And everyone else is out of that. Yeah. You're just someone, you are that to someone somewhere.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
100%. Well, especially me. I mean, I know that. Well.
Well, some people would say on the show even that, you do have skills, but that's only in assisting people who already have a party planned, and you're just kind of helping out, right? I thought that was nice of Sheena to give you the big ups there.
You know what? I mean, she's kind of. She hit the nail on the head a little bit, because I've said this on Vanderpump Rules, and I've said this to Lisa. I'm like, I want to learn how to do this. Yeah, I want to learn how to event plan. I want to learn how to just be a boss. I want to just be able to do everything.
Yeah, sure.
It's almost like being like a proper Southern woman, where it's like, how to do everything.
Right.
Like,
right.
I just want to be a woman who knows how to do everything. And event planning, that was something that I have a really fun time doing it, and I've loved learning about it. And I feel like I know so much more about it that I would feel very comfortable on my own 100% planning something. And I did that with Lala.
And I'm looking forward to seeing that when that unfolds after this next week.
I wish I could tease it, but I can't tease whether it's a success or a failure.
Ooh, what's going to happen? Well, no, everything went swimmingly and there was no issues, and that's why we like the show, because things just go off without a hitch and there's smooth sailing.
No. Yeah, Vanderpump Rules, no problems ever.
Ever, and that's why we enjoy it. It's just a soothing kind of relaxing.
It's like when you watch Vanderpump Rules, it's like going to a spa. It's like going to Voda Spa.
Voda Spa with just like a light whiff of Xanax.
Yes. A light whiff of Xanax?
Well, you're right. I'm being a little stingy.
It takes a lot of Xanax to get me to that place.
Right. So like a whiff for you is what that's like. That's a 4 milligram.
Bar.
Yeah, full bar.
It's like
full
a bar.
You're like, that's fragrant, and I like the aroma, but it's really not enough to do anything for me. Mix that with some other things, and perhaps. Yeah. It's, what it is. You like the flavor. That's what it is.
It's the flavor.
It's the flavor. It's like some people are beer drinkers, some people are whiskey drinkers. It's because of the taste.
Yeah, I'm a Xanax taker, alcohol drinker, Adderall lover. Yeah, I like a lot of different things.
And you're out and proud about it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Speaking of out and proud, you had a lovely time with Jake Shears. I love doing segues like that.
Oh my God. No, I do that
He'll
too.
enjoy that as well.
But I do, speaking of, I've tried to stop. I've tried to like come up with something else besides speaking of da-da-da.
Well, it's hard.
It's really hard.
By the way, it's pretty good to be able to do the speaking of and sort of do those little leaps. There's not that many other ways to say it.
That's true.
Or when you have to pull someone back and go, yeah, but back to...
Well, I was just about to say, let's circle it back to Jake Shears. I was just about to...
Yeah.
I was about to podcast bitch you.
Well, we're sort of like doing the dance before the back to the proper...
I love him so much.
Isn't he wonderful?
Can I just say, I don't know, like... how much, because I tried to like show on my Instagram like as much as I possibly could, but when we went to go see Kinky Boots, should I give backstory about Jake Shears?
Yeah, well, we can. So Jake Shears, listeners of this podcast might know he's been on in the previous incarnation of the podcast. It was on twice. Called James at first. He said, at second I saw him, I just said, he's a Shadow Lounge queen, which is great. Shadow Lounge is a place that Lisa used to own in England. It was a very popular gay bar. And he mentioned that on Watch What Happens Live. And I've known him for about 6 years, one of my dearest friends. And I was so excited when Stassi and Katie were going to be able to go meet him because we're friends and they hadn't met yet. So it was that kind of thing where I kept hoping the worlds would collide. And then Stassi was going on Watch What Happens Live. Katie was on the week before.
When I found out I was doing it with, I was like, that song, the songs that song, like I have those songs on the Scissor Sisters songs. I have those on my Spotify.
Yeah,
that's so cool. But I didn't know him. I didn't know you knew him. I didn't know Katie had either known him through you or
hadn't actually met, but had traded text. It was one of those things. Someone was sick or like someone was out of town. It was always constantly like one of those deals. Yeah.
Yes, and so I got really excited once you messaged me, and then Katie was explaining like that she was really jealous that I was doing it. I'm like, this is so exciting. And then she asks me when I'm in New York. I mean, I love musicals.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Katie does too. And so Katie was like, I didn't know he was on Kinky Boots.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I just thought that it was Scissor Sisters. That's it.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that and that he's coming out with his own stuff and all that. I didn't know that.
Right.
So she goes, do you want to go see Kinky Boots on Sunday? And I'm like, yeah, well, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
of course. Like, what a great idea. We've never gone and seen like a Broadway show together, me and Katie. Like, let's do that. And we're on our way, and she's like, yeah, so like Jake Shears, or Jason, she calls him Jason. Y'all call him Jason.
Well, I know, and it can be confusing for people.
I told her to stop doing that because I was like, you need to stop doing that because it just confuses me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Jake still.
Just stick with Jake. It's fine.
It's easy.
Yeah, it's fine. He answers to both. He doesn't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she goes, this is a person that is doing Watch What Happens Live with you. And I was like, what the fuck? Worlds are colliding. Yeah. This is so weird. It was the best show I've ever seen. I think it might actually be my favorite musical now that I've ever seen.
I can't wait to see it. Yeah.
I cried. We all cried.
Yeah.
Like fucking babe. It was so embarrassing. Like I looked like shit after it was over. And he was so kind.
Oh, he's the
brought
greatest,
us
right?
backstage into his dressing room.
Yeah.
It's always been a dream of mine to be able to see what that looks like. Yeah. I had no idea what that looked like. Mm-hmm. And he just took us to dinner.
Yeah.
We had
in between shows, right?
Because in between shows, he did 2 shows on Sunday. Mm-hmm. In between shows, takes us to dinner.
Yeah.
And he was so kind that it was the most excited I've ever been about doing Watch What Happens Live.
That's great.
And then when I got there to the studio, it was like a rush of like, this is going to be so much fun because I know how nice and kind this person is, and just how friendly and open
and lovely, as we were talking about before.
Lovely is the best word to describe him,
right? Yeah.
And then he brought me a gift.
And what gift did he bring you? Because I love this.
It's a horror movies like book, but it's like from like horror movies from the 70s and 80s. So like it's like a list, and they like talk about each one, and I'm like, this is one of the most thoughtful things anyone's ever
right. Yeah. No, he's amazing. He's really one of the nicest, loveliest, most talented people I've ever met.
Yes. And then invited us to come out with him afterwards, and just sat with us the whole time. I'm like, dude, you are like a fucking enigma. Like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, how are you so great? Yeah. And he has a house in New Orleans, a home in New Orleans. I'm like, we have so much in common. You're just like the gay dude version of me, except a little bit nicer.
I was so happy about that whole thing. Well, because I was texting you guys. It was so perfect, and he's loved the show for forever. And I just knew you all would get along so well.
No, he's the best.
He loved you guys too.
Well,
he was like, I miss those girls. The other day, he was like, I miss those girls. I can't wait to see Stassi and Katie. Like, they're so great.
I hope that he really means that, and that the next time in New York, we'll be able to do something again.
Yeah, well, he'll be back in LA sometime in April.
He invited me to go to his house. He said, when I come to LA, that you guys should come over.
We're gonna have a party,
to that.
Or as you'd like to say, maybe a kiki. But,
a kiki.
Yeah,
let's have a kiki, motherfuckers.
By the way, I have to send you the video because that's how we met. I made a video that went viral for Let's Have a Kiki.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's how we met. They came to Boston 2 weeks after. I already had tickets to the show. We met then, and it was like instantly we were hanging out, and I visited him in New York. And he's the part of the reason I moved to LA.
What?
Yeah. He was like, you should move to LA. When we came out to visit, we stayed with him. He invited us to his house.
He's the nicest.
He's the greatest.
I don't even understand. See, that kind of kindness, I don't understand. Well, I like to think of myself as a good person, but that's like some next level shit.
Well, he's next level in many areas. Yeah, no, but I was actually wishing that we were able to do a FaceTime thing today, but maybe in the next episode. Or when he comes back, we'll do a joint episode. We'll have you guys all on.
That would be so much fun. I just don't want to lose this friendship because he's the best.
No. I know it's so great that you're like, he's so magical. Is this real? And then you think, oh, well, people say things all the time. Maybe, no, he means it though. He definitely means it.
I believe that. I feel it in my intuition and in my gut, just like everything, and it's there. No,
he's the greatest. Yeah. And I was so psyched about that. And you guys FaceTime. But I want to shift.
Oh, yeah, when we FaceTime, when Katie and I drunkenly that was my idea.
Which I loved. It was a great thing because I was like, I'm so excited for you guys. And also the other great thing is I remember when you told me that you didn't know at first anything, the name Jake Shears didn't really ring your bell. So you thought they were going to do to you what they always do to you on Watch What Happens Live.
Oh, yeah. At first I thought, yes. I didn't know he was from Scissor Sisters. I didn't know like that. I just saw Jake Shears. I was like, it's going to be another single dude that they always, Watch What Happens Live, they always put me with just like the right age range of single dudes that they think that maybe they could make something happen between us, and it annoys the shit out of me. I'm like, put me with a girl or something. Why can't I just be with why does it always have to be like that? And then when you explained, I was like, yes.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it was, as a viewer too, I mean, obviously I had other reasons why I loved the episode so much, but it's definitely my favorite episode to Watch What Happens Live. And the shout out and stuff, which was great. That was the Jake Shears police outside.
It adds to
the atmosphere. It really exactly.
Does.
Yeah,
I like
we're hanging out with bikers today. That's all. We didn't want to tell you.
I told you I'm trying to toughen up my image. I want hard, just
a little hard, a little tougher.
Be like
a black leather jacket.
I could maybe punch someone or something.
That's right. A scuffed black leather jacket.
A scuffed, yes.
Yeah.
I'm actually too far.
Okay, all right. Well, look, you
a leather jacket.
You have a toe in the water.
Yeah,
not the whole foot.
I can't completely change who I am.
What about a black leather jacket with a dainty little chain off of it? Not quite a heavy bicycle chain type, but a little. Yeah.
Maybe like a Chanel-esque looking chain.
There you go. So you have to stay you, right?
Yeah,
and then add.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking earlier about friends and celebrity crushes.
Yes.
And
how Katie's a fucking weirdo. Justin Bieber is her celebrity crush, and it just really fucking freaks me out. I just don't get it. I don't get, he looks like a child, so I'm like, are you, I know, joking about child pornography isn't probably the best thing to do. It's especially for me. I can't.
Right.
Yeah. I get in trouble a lot for things.
Which we're going to have to talk about a little.
Totally. I don't mind. But the Biebs isn't my what
the Biebs isn't your jam because it's that funny thing where
he looks like a child,
and then when you discover that your friend who you feel a lot about is so into someone that you just can't square that,
yes,
it makes you not uncomfortable, but a little uncomfortable.
A little bit, yeah. She made me go to the concert in San Diego.
That's right.
And I'm like, I don't know if I want to share a room with you anymore. Like, this is fucking weird. She goes, yeah, but like, how hot was he when he was performing? I was like, well, he's really talented. Like,
yeah, he's in shape, I guess.
I don't necessarily want to have sex with him. Like,
it is funny too when your friend is like really into someone and you're not, and it's like, it's almost like it becomes icky.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's just weird. And you're like, yeah. Well, there's also friends that you can talk about sex stuff with, and there's friends that you can't, and you know it instinctively. It's just like a weird thing. Or even like attraction stuff. I mean, not every friend. Like your really close friends you talk about everything with.
Yes,
but
okay.
There's so many people that you just sort of know after about 5 minutes of talking to them. There's this whole bunch of topics that are just not on the table.
Oh, I think I'm missing that chip in my brain where I'm able to gauge whether somebody's able to handle it. And that's my problem.
Well, that's your gift to us, I think. That's, I think, on the show.
Gift to you. But like, I have to bear that cross.
I understand. So. I understand. You have that burden. And maybe I don't, or maybe I do. I don't know, but maybe it's all in my head.
Well, I feel like you too. Also, we just talk about anything.
I would prefer to just talk about everything.
Like nothing is really off. I don't.
No, because it's a downer to talk. And really, I think what it is when I find that someone, I'm getting the vibe that like I can't really talk to them freely. I don't want to talk to them.
Me too. That's how that's
sort of my filter with people in general. That's the main one.
But I don't feel that. I mean, someone would have to really like be like really
gross,
like for me to realize that I can't talk about certain things.
Yeah, I think that's true. And I think to define it a little more clearly is what we were just saying, that when you get the vibe off that with someone, it's like, I'm not going to be around this person, because how can you be?
Yeah.
And also, if you have friends that you can't sort of talk about the ugly stuff in life,
then what's the point? What's the point?
No,
I would rather just be at home with my dogs talking to them.
Bo's dog is named Refund, is that correct?
Yes.
That was great. When he first said it, I thought, oh, is that like a German word that no, it's Refund.
It's Refund.
That's really great. Yeah. It's one of the better dog names I've ever heard.
Because he adopted her, like she was a rescue dog.
Oh, okay.
And he'd never, I mean, it was his first dog in his adult life.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know if I can handle this. And someone's like, maybe you should get a refund. And he's like, that's her name.
And you two met via Katie and Kristen, is that right?
Yeah. So the first time Patrick and I broke up,
which was like the first of 500, right? Yeah.
I'm like the main first time.
There was more time.
There's like 500 breakups, but like, I mean,
which
like
is a good title for your rom-com version of it. Yeah.
500
Get
breakups.
Emma Watson and like, yeah.
Oh God, that'd be great. It was because we've had this breakup and then the one before.
Sure.
The main ones.
Yeah.
Like the ones that stuck.
The actual. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. I see what you mean.
Yes,
sure.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And
there was falling outs and then there was the breakups.
There were breakups and then there were breakups. That's what I really mean.
So you mean like lowercase b.
Yeah,
and then,
all caps. The caps log on for like the whole.
Yeah, not even a dash. It's just all one word.
All one word. Yeah. 100%.
Extra P.
Yeah. They wanted to hook Bo and I up, and I wasn't really totally ready. I guess I wasn't ready or whatever. And then the last time that Patrick and I broke up in August, they introduced us again. They tried. We didn't meet before, but I finally did meet him, and we took it very, very slow, like very slow up until like January. Like, so it's newly official
romantic. Yeah.
I mean, yes, like we would go on dates like every 2 weeks or something. And we were both seeing other people. We were both, I wanted to be single until I was 30. That was like my plan.
Yeah.
And so I really am disappointed in myself.
That's a decent thing to fail at, though.
I really believe in like having your alone time, and like after like being in a relationship with someone for a while, like knowing that you're comfortable by yourself.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to give myself a year.
Right.
And it didn't happen.
Well,
I mean, you can't help who you love and have feelings for.
That's right.
And stuff like that. But,
as Woody Allen said, the heart wants what the heart wants.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Listen,
and leave it to Kristen.
I just take a little bit of advice from Jax. I'm trying to not be politically correct. But leave it to Kristen. She had a mission and she was going to accomplish it.
Yeah, well, listen. Okay, Kristen introduced Tom, Schwartz, and Katie.
That's right.
But Kristen also introduced me and Jax.
Well, you can't
you can't win them all, but let's hope that this one is
The makeup for that.
Yeah.
It's the do-over.
It's the do-over.
Although, again, that meeting was a great gift to all of us.
Yeah, a great gift to you guys. Yeah, right. Actually, a great gift to me because I have a career out of it.
Hey, right? Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
it worked pretty well.
If Jax and I didn't break up season 1, would we have a season 2?
I know.
Who knows?
Yeah. Or if the two of you never met, never
Who
dated.
knows? Yeah.
This segment brought to you by Nastasia Bianca Candles. Combine, contrast, relax with the soothing scents only Stassi Schroeder would claim as her very own. Top flavors include the enchanting aroma of Hidden Valley Secret, the complicated girlish glee of white wine summer, the bloodthirsty delirium that is pumpkin spice murder. Nastasia Bianca, the kind of candle you want to leave too close to the curtains. Nastasia Bianca, bougie candles, garbage prices. Nastasia Bianca, available now at all smart and final locations.
There was something else I was going to... this is why I edit. Although it was doing pretty good. I could have done an unedited episode up until now.
Dude, I don't edit.
I know. You don't edit your show, and I admire that because you're so good.
I like the awkward silence for a bit. Like,
that's true.
To me, I think it's not awkward. It's authentic and it's real, and it's actually like you're thinking for a second. And I think as a listener, you're like, oh, that person's thinking for a second. I don't think it's weird.
When I listen to your show, I'm like, this is really cool because it's not the easiest thing to do a straight through show, and in particular when you do them solo.
Those are tough. I mean, they're tough. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like that. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be like, I just like.
What are you talking about? I just like.
I turn the microphone on and I just like go for it. Like no, like that. Those are hard to do.
Yeah.
Especially you're just staring at a fucking wall.
Right.
And I feel like I'm able to do a podcast because I can bounce ideas off somebody.
Sure.
Or that's why I say I like doing it in a restaurant or bar, because if somebody walks by or something happens, I can then it spins
incorporate
off.
It. Yeah.
Like I love when I do a podcast and the outline that I wrote, I don't follow it.
Right.
We trail off into random shit. That's my favorite.
Same here. I'll take notes, and then it's a good show if I never look at it.
If you never look at it.
Or if I look at it and I go, oh, okay, maybe I'll look at it later. Or, because sometimes also, do you ever have this with notes? You'll look at your outline and you'll go, I have no idea what the fuck that is right there.
Oh, totally. Yes. 100%. Yeah. Especially if I made that outline at 4 a.m.
Yeah. That's the only thing I really be careful. I mean, I try to be very specific about is certain quotes, because sometimes there's just so bananas on the show that I'm like, I have to write this down verbatim. The one that I was thinking of with this episode would be James Kennedy saying, like, yeah, if a man would just take a break from like slicing into a steak at Mastro's.
Or Lala saying, saying, I'm spreading my legs and
spread my legs and fly.
And then breaking the fourth wall and us having our producer just be like, you just said spreading your legs. She's like, did I?
I love that they're doing that.
I love when they break the fourth wall. I love it.
It's so good. In last episode, I think, or the episode before that, you were drinking the wine with that giant straw.
Yeah, he made me that straw.
Jeremiah, shout out. Yeah, shout out to Jeremiah.
So many people have tweeted me and asked me and been like, where do I get giant straws like that? I'm like, Jeremiah, you
could have a nice sideline business.
That was full on like, I need to drink right now, and someone went to go get me a bottle of wine, and I'm like, I'm just gonna drink out of it. It's too much of a pain in the ass to keep pouring.
Yeah, it's gonna slow us down.
Yeah.
Well, see, there you go. Back to your party planning thing. You're just on it. You're thinking about what's gonna move this forward.
Oh yeah.
You want to expedite.
Yeah, totally. Party planning AF.
We also got to see Sheena and Lala in the studio.
What was the word? Yeah. Was it yeah?
Or oh.
Oh, or yeah.
Well, either way, it's going to get cut out, as Lala said, because it's a song about her man.
It doesn't matter because, Sheena has Rob, so it doesn't.
That's right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Sheena has Rob. Had Rob? Has Rob?
I don't know.
No, she has Rob as like a theory.
Know.
She has Rob as a theory, a sort of imaginary friend might not be the right expression, but that's how it reads sometimes.
Do you know how terrified I am that because I'm in a new relationship that I'm going to like sound like that? So I'm like trying not to talk about my boyfriend because I don't want to go overboard.
Right. You don't want to be gushing at any available moment, anytime anyone else is talking.
Because of course you want to, when you're in a new relationship, you want to gush. That is,
you want to share. You're excited.
You want to fucking shout that shit out. Of course. And I understand like Sheena in that way, but like it's a lot. But it's like and we all felt that way, and I think we've all said it to her face, and we've all joked around to her face about it.
Yeah,
like it's not like something new that she's just hearing.
Hi Sheena, how are you? Thank you for listening. I appreciate your listenership, even though you won't. We're probably not ever going to have you on the show again, but appreciate your support. Anyway.
Yeah. Yep. Heard about that.
I like. Hey, look, can't win them all, I guess.
Yep. Nope.
Nope.
Yep. You can't.
Nope. Nope.
I don't know. If you message her and you say, I'd really like to talk about Rob.
Oh God. You know what? It's been right in front of my face the whole time.
Why haven't
That's
you
almost as
that?
obvious as noticing that maybe James has a crush on Lala.
Yes, exactly.
Do you mean well but sometimes say the wrong thing? Are you usually pretty smart but on social media sometimes a ding-a-ling? This kind of confusion can lead to some heavy suffering, but you're not alone anymore. Not when you sign up for the Stassi Schroeder Sensitivity Training School. The Stassi Schroeder Sensitivity Training School. Learn how to keep some things private comedy. Learn how to apologize without inflaming the situation. Most importantly, learn what hot-button words you should never ever say, even after too much Pinot or Chardonnay. The Stassi Schroeder Sensitivity Training School. Tuesdays and Thursdays in the back room of the Pleasure Chest, Santa Monica Boulevard, West Hollywood. And for those outside Los Angeles or shut-ins based in Los Angeles, Stassi's lessons are available via online courses at smartandfinal.com. See, this part I'll cut out because I have no idea what I'm going to say next. Although I like your idea about leaving it a little more free form.
What if this episode you don't cut anything out
Maybe.
and see what the listeners think?
That's not a bad idea. It would the turnaround time would be a little quicker.
Well, I just let's see what they would think.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Or if you don't want to do it right now, like if you don't want to do it with this one, let's then eventually do a podcast where you just don't edit anything out and see what they think and if they like it better or not.
That's a good idea.
Because some people do like to listen to something that is more, it's quicker and edited, and it's streamlined, and it feels more like you're actually listening to a more professional situation.
Well, and also I try to keep it deceptive. One of the main reasons, actually, it's not so much the two people or two-person shows like this that I have to edit so much. It's when I have like four people. And everyone's excited to talk. So a lot of times, like for instance, the season opener with Katie, Kristen, and Alana, there was so much. I was muting channels. I mean, the amount of editing that went into that was bananas. It was like Baby Driver level editing.
Oh my God, no! I can't. That is way too much. 4 people. I've
had 6 one time.
Why?
Because I can make it work, and also sometimes if people are getting drunk and it's a fun atmosphere, so you
can't tell between a lot of people's voices.
Well, that's true. Well, Brittany was on it, though, so she has the Southern accent.
All right, so you can use her.
And, by the way, you know how she was vomiting? I think she was just vomiting a lot because she had to hear what Sheena had to say about Rob.
Actually, you've read she's like, all this talk about Rob is making me, it's giving me morning sickness, and I think I need to take an EPT test.
The only other thing it could be is that I'm maybe pregnant. and Jax would be a good father, I guess, huh?
Oh my God. Oh, Britt. Britt.
Oh dear.
Listen,
oh dear.
I mean, I want Jax so badly to be the best he can be.
Yeah.
I really want that for him.
Sure.
And I hope I don't know that it can happen, but I want it to happen.
Right.
Not just for Brittany, but also for him.
Yeah, for him, he'd be happier.
Yes. I think that if he just did, but also we might not get a next season if he turns into a decent person. So
and we all thought he was on the good foot and was the new Jax for so long.
Yeah, I had him on my podcast. I'm like, this is a reformed bad boy.
Right. And he was so reflective about his behavior as well, which is the most unbelievable thing. So I did a show with him and Alana about basically all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's so good at being introspective, but then he'll just do something crazy
like
again.
That. What kind of mental disorder is that?
That's a good question.
I'm not sure. I don't think he's a sociopath.
I don't either.
All.
I used to, But when he expresses remorse for things, also he has that, when he'll have a flood of remorse, when he's like, I'm such a horrible person. Like, he goes so dark with his self-hate in moments.
I completely agree. I don't think even though we took that sociopath quiz, I think he was trying to be a sociopath. Like, he wanted to. I can see right through that shit. Like, he's wanted to be that type of person for so long, just a dick. Like, he
like
he enjoys being like that was his shtick.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
That he now just thinks that's what he is and therefore has become that.
Right.
Is this too meta right now?
No, it's like
I feel like I'm in a therapy. I'm with like my therapist right now, and I'm like, she's like, let's talk about your boyfriend from 7 years ago. Like, that's what I feel like.
That's the atmosphere I like to create here with the couch, and I mean, the therapist doesn't usually have snacks, but.
That's true. Thank you for the homemade ranch.
My pleasure.
Dip. It's always my favorite.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad.
Thank you.
Yeah, to make the guests feel welcome. Yeah.
There's nothing better. I mean, I prefer ranch over alcohol, and that says a lot.
That says quite a lot.
It does.
Yeah. Well, then you can have both here. It's always a fun time coming on this show.
Is this my Mecca? I've reached nirvana.
And there's a candle, which doesn't smell like ranch, but we were talking about that would be a good entry. And I think that's one of the flavors of Nastasia Bianca candles.
Nastasia Bianca candles, I know.
You should do a Stassi Blue paint line.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it already exists because it's on my wall. So, how do you do that? How do you just copy a paint and say...
you don't necessarily copy it, but you just have...
So in Home Depot, there's just going to be this one random swatch of just this one color with like my name on it and this one can that you can get.
That's fine. That would be good. You have to have a giant end cap though, all filled with just the same one can. Mm-hmm. That would be that's the way to go about it. Be very ostentatious. Don't be like, it's just me over here. But also you could take the Stassi Blue into do you have a nail color endorsement thing or whatever you call that?
No, I don't have no, I do not.
Well, it's maybe something to think about.
People reach out, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Maybe a little tie in with pucker and pout if they want to get into nails. I don't know.
Yeah. What is that?
What is that?
Why isn't anyone come after me?
What the hell?
It's probably because I make too many unpolitically correct jokes.
Well, gotta applaud your non-segue there because that was very good, and you
Speaking
let me in. Well,
not politically correct.
I'll get down on myself about that. But then if you listen to Howard, he does the same thing, or he'll do. I heard
he's not as nowadays. Not as no.
No, but he'll do.
Back in the day,
you know what I heard about you? They'll be like, heard. Yeah, he used to do speaking of. Now he'll go, you know what I heard? Or like, this is a classic talk show thing. You know what I heard? What that means is my writers and research people wrote this on a sheet for me.
Yes.
You know what I heard? Hey, tell me, is it true what I heard about you, or is it some variant of that? So everyone's got it. I mean, there's no other fucking way to do it. Meanwhile, back to your terrific segue that I just sort of exposed. Mm-hmm. So you've gotten into a bunch of hot water in the last few months. And did you lose all your sponsors?
I lost a lot.
You lost a lot of them. Okay.
I lost a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you felt bad about it, right?
Oh, of course, because my intention is never to hurt anyone's feelings.
Right.
It's never to upset anyone.
Right.
What really I feel badly about is the way that I talked about the Me Too thing. And granted, that wasn't even the Me Too campaign I'm proud of. I'm a woman. I've been in these situations. I am one of them. So it's crazy to have people be so upset about something when you feel like you're a part of it.
Would you say that you feel like you misspoke about it, that you did you didn't communicate?
I don't think I knew enough.
Okay.
I am 100% with anyone who's ever been truly violated or felt that they were in a situation where
that was traumatic.
Yes, of course.
Or felt traumatized. So do you feel that maybe it was more a matter of you not communicating what you felt?
It's that. It's also me not knowing enough. I think that I should have educated myself more than I had at that time, and I think I need to be more mindful of what other people have experienced, even though I've been in those situations.
Yeah.
Just because I was able to get out of them, or
it didn't turn out the way that maybe it turned out for other people.
It doesn't mean that everyone's experiences are different.
Yeah.
And
just like you were saying before about people and their relationships, like it can be different.
Yes. Yeah. Like that is something I really learned, and I never meant to hurt anyone. I think what's upset me the most is when I posted that Nazi chic OOTD because I'm obviously not a Nazi. Like, I'm not promoting what.
Sure.
It's a joke because all my friends make fun of me because my initials are SS and I have them everywhere. And like when I went to Europe last year, I looked like I was in some sort of uniform.
Yeah.
And I had SS everywhere.
Yeah.
And so it became this joke that my friends and I just say, and I'm like, fuck you, stop calling me Nazi chic. And then I just said, I said it. It was careless of me, but I didn't realize that would be something that people would be affected by.
Right.
Like, I had no idea. I really thought it was just a joke. Like, but Nazis suck ass. Well, like, I know. Like, right, I'm anti-Nazi.
Yeah,
like,
right.
What?
Like, let's just be clear. Like, to say it plainly. You're not for Nazis.
I'm not for Nazis. Like, I can't. It blows my mind that I guess there are some people out there that are for that type of stuff. So that's where this then comes from. But what? No.
I think there's also a readiness for people to jump on the idea that you are like a pro-Trump, far right. I've just seen this weird. I don't think I think I actually heard you say "fuck Trump" at one point. So, would you like to address that?
I don't like to talk about politics just because I've now realized that gets me in trouble. Now I just feel like I just want to go watch The Bachelor or something because I just don't want to. Yeah. It's like a lose-lose situation.
So basically, the Nazi shit thing was just basically a dumb thing. Of
course.
It was just a dumb thing that was not thought out.
Of course.
Which is not great, but it's way better than a lot of the things that people were putting on you. Because do you remember I texted you when I saw that?
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, hey, this is not going to read well.
Yes. No. Yes.
Because I knew the backstory because you had told that story, I think, about Europe and the monograms on one of the episodes of your podcast.
Yeah.
But I was looking at it going, okay, all the people that don't know that story are really gonna. Yeah. So
I forget what people know and what people don't, and what's gonna. Fuck my life. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I'm gonna make more mistakes as I go on. Like that's how I learn.
Yeah, well, that's true, and also you are willing to learn. You're willing to actually.
Yes, I want to learn. I want to be better. Like right. I want to know what is right. I want to know about everything. Right. And unfortunately, the way that I learn is like actually like doing shit, just really dropping bombs and like having that interaction. You know what it reminds me of? I went my first year at LSU at Louisiana State University. Yeah. Those classes were like stadium seating.
Okay.
I hated it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. So I transferred to Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles because there were classes of 20 people. So I could raise my hand and I could interact and I could talk and we could have discussions with the teachers and with the students. And it was like an interactive thing. That's how I learn.
Right. You need a more one-on-one sort of experience.
It's not like I'm a visual learner or like I learn through sound or something like that.
You learn through doing.
I learn through doing. And so that is what I'm going to, I learn through fucking up.
Yeah.
And sometimes I still don't learn. So,
well, I got to say though,
but I'm trying.
I got to say that it's admirable that you always cop to anything that you feel you've done wrong or have hurt someone's feelings. Even back to your birthday episode, your breakdown when you come in and
I felt like
the ladies are, you can see that.
This is something I don't think I've publicly talked about. It wasn't just that I hurt Katie and Kristen because they had made my birthday so special.
Right.
Like really so special. And did so many wonderful things for me and got me the most amazing gifts and they were like Parisian themed and like just got me like this chic little record player. Just like everything was very sweet. Yeah. And I felt so guilty that I had yelled at them, but I also part of why I was so upset. And that scene doesn't even show how like I cried for like 2 days. Yeah. It was really like it was rough because I also yelled at my producers, and that really I love my producers, and I respect my crew so much, and they're like our family. We've had pretty much the same crew for 6 years. Yeah. So any sound guy, anyone with a camera, they're our family. Right. The producers they're our family, and I was rude. I was mean to them as well, and it was the first time that ever happened. Mm-hmm. And really like it shook me that not only was I mean to my friends, but I was also mean to my crew that I respect so much.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it was just so I couldn't believe myself.
And my take on it when I first heard about it, because I was there and I walked out of the bathroom right after you had flipped out, and then I couldn't figure out why you were so upset. And then I heard, this just the broad stroke version. Ariel, they were doing this thing with a shot, and I was like, that still doesn't make any sense to me. Why would she be upset? She doesn't seem to be uptight about that. Then after watching the episode, it finally clicked. You were so jumpy from what might make Patrick upset that anything that looked like, oh no, he's going to have a problem with this. Oh no, he's going to have a problem with that. Which is, I'm not going to say abusive, but it's like this weird thing that in relationships, it's not healthy. And because it didn't make sense otherwise. I was like, wait, what guy would mind if two women are, there's a shot and ass?
It was so much, but it was not even just that. It was the fact that Patrick and I were, when is he going to show up? Is he going to show up? And I'm on edge and I'm drinking a shit ton. And like I said, I'm taking Adderall, trying to stay awake. And I have my family there. There's so many people I have to entertain that I haven't talked to all night. And then just all of a sudden I like sit down and with Patrick for the first time because I didn't see him my whole birthday.
Because he showed up late too.
Yes.
And not in costume.
That is the worst.
That is absolutely
the
worst.
I love a costume party. You fucking show up in costume.
Especially if it's your girlfriend's fucking party.
He didn't care. No.
That was so rotten. By the way, Tom and Ariana were really pissed off about that when we watched the episode and did the show about that.
That makes me feel good.
They made a point to talk about that. And Ariana said a lot of things that made me feel like maybe there's a possibility of a joint birthday party next year.
It's my 30th birthday and I'm still willing to have a joint one.
I think that'd be great.
I fucking love Ariana. I have this weird, is it like sadistic that like I'm just like no matter what happens with Ariana, I'm like, but I really like
Masochistic. That would be the one.
You're right.
Sadist is if you were torturing the other person. Or
I always say that I'm a masochist. Like I like to torture myself.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the vodka.
Yeah.
It's the vodka. I'm going to blame it on that. No, I love Ariana. So there's that. So the friendship is always up to her. And people will message me and be like, why are you letting Ariana be the boss? Why are you just fawning after her? I'm like, I don't care. I like her. I like her. I think she's smart. I think she's funny.
Yeah.
I think I get where her brain goes. I think we share a lot in common and we have similar qualities that I don't know that she'd like to admit, but I don't know. I like her.
Yeah. And it seemed like there was a new day dawning in that conversation with her. So
I hope so. Shit. But I think I have to go.
I know.
Because I have to pee too. I'm about to piss my fucking pants.
We do allow guests to use the bathroom and come back, but you have a prior engagement that you have to get to. So thanks very much, and we'll have you back on soon. It was lovely chatting with you.
I'm sorry, I just looked down at my phone like so rudely.
No, because I was talking about that before with notes because I feel like self-conscious when I'm looking at notes on the phone.
I feel.
Well, because there's the sort of code that if someone's looking at their phone, you automatically just feel like, oh, they're not
connecting. They're just being dismissive.
But if someone looks at a piece of paper, you're like, oh, they have notes because they're all about me.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a trick.
Well, it's been great talking with you and hope to talk to you again soon when we have some more time.
Yes. And I'm sorry we didn't get to go over the episode.
I know, we shouldn't have even watched it.
I know. It's bullshit.
No,
we should have just sat and podcasted.
We'll do that next time.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank
we'll do
you.
that.
Yeah, next
thank
time.
you.
Sorry.
Find us on Instagram and Twitter at Pump Rules Pod, or go to pumprolespodcast.com for more information. Email pumprolespodcast@gmail.com and follow on Facebook at facebook.com/pumprolespodcast. Thanks for listening and see you next time.